In recognition of the significance of this address, I've invited key stakeholders to be in attendance because this will give them a chance to be able to independently assess our performance. By this act, I would have also kept my promise to remain accountable to the people of Imo State, with whose mandate I serve as governor. I've always considered this a sacred mandate and will never take it for granted. Let me also use this address as another opportunity to thank the people of Imo State for their steadfast support over the last 5.5 years, even in the face of deliberate provocation and misinformation by detractors. You stood firm in your support for our administration. Above all, your overwhelming support in the November 2023 governorship election was not only a clear endorsement of our efforts, but also a powerful statement of trust. The state office, I have redoubled my efforts. Your massive endorsement given across the 27 local government areas of Imo State came across as a clarion call to duty, to work even harder for your well-being. And what is exactly we are doing to ensure that your trust and confidence will not be disappointed. In the last 18 months, we'll be very diligent. We are very clear and intentional about the need to aggressively bring development and enhance the welfare of our people up to the commonest man on the street. As you know, I've always maintained that I have a covenant with God to serve the people of Imo State with honesty, with integrity, and transparency. I've held firmly to this commitment since I took oath of office on January 15th, 2020. It is for this reason that I established a platform for direct accountability, a stakeholders forum, where I regularly present a report of government activities. The first of such engagement was held on June 12, 2020, just 6 months after we took office. Since then, we have held no fewer than 12 such engagements, ranging from general stakeholders meeting to sector-specific consultations, labor unions, farm unions, leaders of market associations, traditional rulers, and elders council. The goal has always been consistent, to render an account of our stewardship and receive valuable feedback. Returning to this honorable house to present this address is both necessary and very appropriate. As lawmakers, you are a critical part of governance and development. I'm proud to say that this house has been a dependable partner throughout. While we operate as separate arms of government, we have worked in genuine harmony and synergy, guided by our shared commitment to serve the people of Imo State. Whenever I enter this chamber, I am reminded of what it was once. This edifice, now one of the most impressive in the country, used to be in a state of ruin, and honorable members had to flee to exile for their safety. Today, it stands proudly restored with the state-of-the-art fittings. I can say it rivals, if not surpasses, any state legislative complex in the country. It remains a signpost of the standards we have brought to governance, standards of quality, durability, and excellence. Similar standards are being upheld in every project we have embarked on. We will soon launched and commissioned the International Conference Center, which is almost completed, a standard that is even far above this present edifice. From the outset, our approach has been deliberate and strategic. We developed a roadmap and a governance framework that allows us to focus sharply on neglected areas. I have never engaged in blame games. Those before me did their part, and posterity will judge them. I speak only when good governance demands accountability. I am not used to speaking to the street when it is not necessary. However, we must revisit the past to appreciate the present. Too often, memory fades, and people forget how far we have come. That is why a brief review of where we started is necessary to put today's progress and achievements in perspective. When I assumed office, I was immediately confronted with two pressing issues: widespread infrastructure decay and the near total breakdown of state institutions. Most roads were either impassable or outright death traps. Governance was paralyzed. The civil service, often referred to as the engine room of government, had lost both its form and function. Even the government house had been reduced to a laughable caricature, with official business often conducted in bush bars or guest houses. If those were the only challenges, the situation would have been more manageable. But we were barely settling into office when the COVID-19 pandemic struck. As you can all recollect, the pandemic disrupted the economies across the world and upended public life. Here in Imo, we had to redirect enormous resources to contain the spread of the virus, to be able to protect our people. No sooner had we begun to manage the public health crisis than another challenge emerged. This time, a politically motivated challenge. Some disgruntled politicians who were still smarting from their defeat at the polls vowed to make the state ungovernable. They went to great lengths to keep their promise. Soon after, that unprecedented acts of violence erupted in different parts of the state. The most infamous was the illegal release of over 1,830 inmates from a Owerri custodial center. This act injected dangerous elements into the society and emboldened the criminal networks across the state and the neighboring states. Suddenly, we were confronted with a full-scale breakdown of order. Banditry surged, communities were attacked, and public infrastructure came under siege. Law enforcement officers and private citizens were not spared. The impact of these far-reaching acts of violence were enough to destabilize and derail any administration. But we remained resolute. Our belief was simple: that light will always overcome darkness. In response, we mobilized every available arsenal to confront the crisis: security, humanitarian, financial, and institutional. To the glory of God, we emerged victorious. Now we have our state back. Why is this background important? It is because it reminds us that even in the face of daunting and destabilizing events, we stayed focused and pursued our development agenda with clarity and courage. We did not buckle. We did not retreat, because we came prepared. So instead, we use adversity as motivation to rebuild, to reform, and reimagine the future of our state in accord with our well-outlined shared prosperity 3R mantra. We became revolutionary. We began our building efforts with the civil service and critical road infrastructure within the Owerri capital city. The choice was deliberate because a functional civil service is the backbone of good governance, and the motorable roads are essential for commerce, public mobility, and administrative efficiency. At the State Secretariat, we undertook a full-scale rehabilitation, both structural and psychological. For those who recall, that complex had deteriorated into a workplace of despair. Leaking roofs, cracked walls, blocked toilets, and the infestation of rodents were the norm. Today, it is a modern, functional space. A newly recruited civil servant entering that building now may not grasp the depth of decay that once defined it, but it is important that we remember so we never return to that low point again. Alongside physical restoration, we also achieved the automation of the civil service operations. This move was aimed at improving efficiency, stamping out fraud, and easing service delivery. And while the systems were being digitized, we did not lose sight of the human factor. We trained and retrained our civil servants to avail them with modern-day working skills. We also uploaded a backlog of merited promotions and ensured that all deserving workers across board were promoted. Since the onset of this administration, Imo workers have continued to receive their salaries promptly. Pensioners have been paid all the arrears, and the civil servants have never felt or experienced any delay in the payment of their salaries. They are paid on time, and both has consistently received a 13th month salary along with other palliatives as our financial condition permits every year. In addition, free transportation is provided for civil servants to enable them travel to and fro work. The permanent secretaries now have official vehicles. Workers benefit free from a fundamental secretariat clinic under the cover of Imo Health Insurance Scheme. All workers have now been enrolled in the Imo State Health Insurance Scheme. More recently, pensioners have also begun to receive their gratuities, and as a matter of fact, the government has extended free medical to all civil servants and all pensioners in Imo State. Our committed civil service is now recognized as one of the most advanced and efficient in the country. The World Bank has also ranked our data center among the best in the country. One of the biggest ways for reform has been the elimination of payroll fraud. Today, with a few keystrokes, we can verify the number of active civil servants and accurately determine the wage bill of the state. Contrast with the chaotic situation 5 years ago, when headcounts fluctuated month to month, and no one could state credibly the number of workers or pensioners on our payroll. That opacity bred corruption. The number of pensioners was inexplicably static, month after month, implying that no one died and no new retirees were even being added. That era is now over. We have instituted transparency and accountability as standard practice. More than that, our public service reform has restored merit and professionalism. Permanent secretaries now function as chief accounting officers of their ministry, as the law provides. Gone are the days of whimsical appointments and erratic decision-making that demoralize the workforce. Today, Imo State Government House has regained its pride of place. Both the lodge and the governor's office have been remodeled to reflect the dignity of our state. The Sam Bakwe Executive Council Chamber is a living proof of what we value, what we order, and excellence and vision we brought to bear. Shabby offices and collapsing structures can no longer represent the seat of power in Imo State. We have moved past that. 18 months of roads and the legacy projects, our commitment to infrastructure remains resolute. Today, Imo boasts of one of the most extensive and impactful road networks in Nigeria. Without sounding immodest, we have constructed more roads than all previous administrations since 1999 combined. From the Alliance of Were Olo and the Were Okigwe Road to the MCC Toronto-Urata corridor, this administration has shown that government can indeed be responsive to the people's needs. These roads are as functional as they are also economic corridors. They connect communities. They will boost trade, reduce travel time, and stimulate productivity. To date, we have completed over 120 across the state. In the past 18 months alone, we have delivered brand new roads, an iconic edifice, the International Conference Center, and the befitting government housing annex alone. We also have the Assunta flyover and the new Concord Hilton Hotel as landmark legacy projects. The new roads include the following: the Toronto Oji Road, the Naze Obosisi Road, Olong Nkume Omowa Road, Oru West Local Government Road, Mwidi Omoma Oboro Road, Amiri Omoma Road, Ihiala St. Joseph Eziashi Road, Okudo Awomama Road, Toronto Ekemegboha Road, Owerri Mbise Umuahia Road, Imsut Road Olo, Alaba International Market, Olo Akokwa Oga Road, the Regional Government House Eziachi, Nempi Amiri Road, Omoma Nkume Road ongoing, Naze Ihiagwa Road with the bridge, Naze Obosisi Road completed, choosing Dreamland Assunta Umuguma Hospital Road, rehabilitation, reconstruction of 17 roads in the capital city, within Owerri. We brought and extended Imo International Airport runway. The job will almost be completed. This is to enable international cargo flights land takeoff from Imo State. We also installed navigational facilities, including night landing facilities, lit up the airport runway, and made it acceptable to global standards. Several of these projects, such as the Owerri Mbise Obo Umuahia Road, the Assunta flyover, the International Conference Center, and the Government House at Nesolo, are scheduled for formal commissioning by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the month of August. These events will not only validate our efforts, but also spotlight our infrastructure renaissance on the national stage. In addition to these delivered projects, we have awarded contracts for the construction and rehabilitation of several critical roads, bridges, and facilities across the state. They include the Alaba International Market Road, including street lights, solar borehole, and public toilets, comprehensive desilting, and the expansion of the flood control tunnel at Lake Nwebere, the construction of Amiri Junction Awomama Road up to Ata in Njaba local government, construction of an additional 500 by 45 millimeter airport runway and overlay of the existing 2.7 kilometer street, expansion of our full Gideamu Ifeke Mungudi Junction corridor, 19 kilometers, rehabilitation and asphalt overlay of Chukwumawoha Junction or G flyover to Amakoya flyover, construction of Naze Road, Timber Market intersection, and Sport Road Safety Office, complete asphalt overlay of Okodo Awomama Road, engineering, procurement, and construction of modern bus terminals at Naze and Central Area Onisha Road. We have all these modern bus terminals with 232 bus stops across Imo State under our new Imo Mass Transit program. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you will agree that we are not relenting in our commitment to providing our people with enduring infrastructure. As Chinechebe aptly captured in the title of one of his novels, It is morning, yet on Creation Day. When our work is complete, Imo would have crossed a point of no return in her march towards economic transformation. To eliminate any doubt about these projects, we have them fully documented with location, specifications, progress status for public verification. You may have witnessed, as others have, the widespread acclaim from across Nigeria regarding not just the number, but the quality of infrastructure in Imo State. It is intentional, and that is where we should belong. Notably, the management of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, toured the state recently. They declared our infrastructure achievements as spectacular and offered to collaborate further. This is the level of credibility we have restored in the state. As a matter of fact, the NDDC has offered to light up every road done by us under this program. The Owerri Elele Road. The Owerri Elele Road now is in partnership with NDDC. We will do the road and they will do the street lights. As I've said before, we will not rest in our oars. We will continue to build, we will continue to connect, and we will continue to uplift our people. One road, one bridge, one corridor at a time. In education remains the foundation of any sustainable society. That is why we took deliberate steps to reposition this sector from the very beginning of our administration. When we assumed office, the situation in our education system was dire. Teachers were demoralized due to months of unpaid salaries and years of delayed promotion. Institutional materials were also scarce. Our flagship institution, the Imo State University, was not left out. It had lost a number of both staff and students, and academic standards were in free fall. To reverse this decline, we began by rehabilitating 305 primary schools, one in each electoral ward. We followed this up with similar interventions at the secondary level, where we not only renovated classroom blocks and constructed new ones, but also equipped science laboratories and restored functionality to libraries. To further motivate teachers and ensure retention, Imo became the first state in the Southeast to extend the retirement age for teachers from 60 to 65 years. The result of these reforms is evident. Imo students now consistently ranks among the best in national examinations, in NECO, in WAEC, and JAMBA alike. The improvement in outcomes speaks to the scale of our investment. Honorable members, I invite those of you serving on the Committee on Education to visit these schools and see the impact we have made for ourselves. At the tertiary level, Imo stands out as one of the few states successfully funding 5 institutions simultaneously. We have Imo State University, Owerri, K.O. Mbadiwe University, Oboko, University of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Omoagbo, Imo State Polytechnic, Beno Wachimogu College of Education, Itoboma. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, it gives me a great joy to announce that Imo State has now a brand new federal university from the federal government. I want, on behalf of the government and people of Imo State, thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this magnanimity, not only in signing the bill, but in also supporting and approving a take-off grant of that university to the tune of over 30 billion naira. This is no small feat. With this development, Imo now proudly hosts 5 public universities, an unprecedented milestone in our educational journey. We give God the glory. Worthy of note is that all the state institutions have achieved 100% accreditation in their academic programs. Admissions are regular. Learning is uninterrupted. The quality of instruction is always improving. Beyond physical infrastructure, We have strengthened the system through strategic partnerships and staff development. The key achievements in this aspect include training of over 1,500 teachers across 15 local governments on family, life, and health education in partnership with UNESCO, procurement of over 736 tablets to improve digital record keeping in basic education schools, participation in international capacity building with UREC, leading to the training of key staff on education, management information systems, both in Rwanda and the ones that they did locally. Establishment and the equipping of an ICT unit with full internet capability, distribution of laptops to all the local government areas to support digital data reporting, construction of a modern library in Mbiri fitted with 150 computers and internet connectivity via MTN to serve as a JAM CBT hub, establishment of a fully equipped of a new 40-seat library, current textbooks and a computer lab at Ikenebu Girls Secondary School, Owerri, complete with over 20 computers, printers, routers, and internet access. These interventions are not scattered acts of goodwill. Rather, they form part of a coordinated agenda to ensure that no child in Imo State is left behind in access to quality and competitive education. In the health sector, Mr. Speaker, we approach the health sector with the same urgency and commitment that guided our education reforms, because access to health care is considered a fundamental right in modern societies. One of our earliest interventions was the recovery of Imo State University Teaching Hospital, Olo, which at the time was more of a mortuary than a hospital. Accreditation had been withdrawn. Equipments were obsolete. Staffing was almost non-existent. Today, that narrative has changed. IMSUT now houses ultra-modern medical equipment and is manned by qualified specialists across departments. For 4 consecutive years, it has produced new set of medical doctors, restoring the institution's core purpose. To complement IMSUT, we worked with the federal government to upgrade the former Federal Medical Center Owerri to a university teaching hospital, a secondary tertiary health facility in the state. Our next step was the decentralization. We began by rehabilitating 305 primary health care centers, 1 in each electoral ward. The centers now serve as first contact clinics, offering essential services in rural areas. To further bridge access gaps, we introduced mobile clinics in hard-to-reach areas, providing Medicare at no cost to underserved rural populations. We have also rehabilitated and equipped general hospitals in select local government areas. These now serve as referral centers for the ward-level clinics. Our plan is to have at least 1 functional and well-equipped general hospital in each of the 7 local government areas of Imo State. The feedback from the field has been very encouraging, especially with the rollout of Imo State Health Insurance Scheme. With this scheme, no Imo man or woman should be denied health care due to cost. Presently, all the workers in our civil service, local government areas, and pensioners are under free medical care provided by the government. We have signed a memorandum of understanding with reputable foreign technical partners, including Siemens, Canon, General Electric, for the manufacture of medical equipment to equip all our hospitals, maintain and service them. As part of this partnership, they will also provide expatriate medical doctors, nurses, and midwives for an initial period of 18 months to support our hospitals and medical schools with the skilled manpower they need, so that within these 18 months, it is expected that our own homegrown doctors would have perfected the profession. We also restored accreditation for our 3 schools of nursing and midwifery in Abombise, in Awomama, and Amibo, which had lost accreditation due to poor facilities and underfunding. With fresh investment, These institutions are now graduating trained nurses and midwives, contributing to the healthcare delivery across the state. Through collaboration with the federal government and international partners, we have achieved further milestones. A 100-bed mother and child hospital was recently completed and handed over to us, commissioned by the wife of Mr. President, Ndi Imo, courtesy of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals. Imo recorded best in-country indicators in stillbirth reduction, immunization coverage, and antenatal care, as confirmed by the health sector-wide joint annual review journals. During the recent diphtheria outbreak in Abombisa, we responded promptly, mobilizing funding and medical supplies within days to bring the situation under control. Other notable interventions include launch of a comprehensive health insurance program, now covering over 437,435 residents, including all the state and local government civil servants and pensioners. Management of over 435,000 clinical cases across the 305 INEC wards in Imo State, using both public and private facilities. Our intention is to strengthen our public health facilities to be in position to compete, if not surpass, private hospitals. Free healthcare services for all civil servants and pensioners under the Imo Care Initiative. Over 2,000 assisted deliveries, mainly cesarean sections, successfully carried out through a rapid response referral network. Ongoing enrollment of 2.7 million Imo residents, 100,000 minimum per local government, into the Imo Care Scheme program, targeting the informal sector and ensuring that no one is left behind in our universal health coverage goal. A new memorandum of understanding that gave birth to Heartland Cooperation to reshape primary care delivery using Imo Model Health Facilities Framework. Through this effort, we have not only expanded healthcare access, we have rebuilt public trust in the system. More mothers now deliver in safe facilities. More children are immunized, and more citizens are insured against threat of medical poverty. In the area of sports, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this administration recognizes the centrality of human development and social inclusion to sustainable governance. That is why we have continued to invest in people, especially our young talents, women, and most vulnerable in society. In the area of sports, we have gone beyond ceremonies and trophies to deploy sports as a vehicle for youth engagement, unity, and job creation. Our athletes have represented Imo at multiple national and regional events, including the just concluded National Sports Festival and the NDDC Sports Festival, bringing honor and visibility to the state. Their hard work has yielded results. So far, they have won 85 medals across different sporting categories, 38 gold, 21 silver, and 26 bronze. This is a proof of discipline, preparation, and determination to excel. To further institutionalize this momentum, we appointed Olympic gold medalist Emmanuel Amunike as Grand Ambassador for Sports Development. His experience and leadership have inspired what we now proudly call the Imo Dream Team. Our support has not stopped at appearances. We have committed resources to sports infrastructure, coaching programs, and grassroots scouting, creating a pipeline for future champions while keeping thousands of youths constructively engaged. In women affairs and social welfare, in the same spirit of human-centered governance, we have also taken firm steps in the area of women affairs and social welfare. The welfare and protection of vulnerable groups, especially children, have been a major priority in 2024. We revoked the licenses of 10 orphanage homes that failed to meet operational standards Others were placed on regulatory watch list. This sent a clear message that Imo State will not tolerate substandard care or exploitation under the guise of shelter. At the same time, we continue to support over 35 compliant orphanage homes and NGOs, assisting them with license renewals, training and supervision to ensure their services meet national and global expectations. Our efforts extend to combating gender-based violence in all its forms, from child defilement and physical assault to emotional abuse and economic deprivation. Survivors are receiving legal, psychological, and economic support as part of a coordinated response framework. We have also expanded our empowerment initiatives, most recently disbursing cash and food items to over 1,000 women, including widows, petty traders, and persons with disabilities across all the 27 local government areas. These interventions are not mere seasonal gestures, but structured steps towards social protection and dignity. More broadly, our approach to welfare has been inclusive. We continue to improve healthcare access for the elderly, provide economic support where needed, and involve women in all tiers of decision making. Women organizations now play an active role in stakeholders forum and state level planning. This is what it means to build a society that works, not just for the powerful, but for everyone. We are creating an Imo where talent is nurtured, where the vulnerable are protected, and where no voice is left unheard. Digital economy and e-governance. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, distinguished stakeholders, in line with our vision for inclusive innovation-driven growth, we made a bold decision early in this administration to establish the Imo State Ministry of Digital Economy and E-Government, the first of its kind in Nigeria. That move has repositioned Imo as a national leader in digital transformation. At the center of this strategy is Skill Up Imo, our flagship human capacity development program, which aims to train 300,000 young Imolites in critical digital skills. So far, over 40,000 youths have been trained, equipped with a startup, toolkits, and supported through internships, mentorship, and the active alumni network. We have deliberately prioritized inclusion, ensuring women, persons with disabilities, and rural residents have access to this opportunity. Beyond training, this program is about livelihoods. Through platforms like the Tech School Fair, Freelancing Hub, more than 1,000 graduates have been secured remote jobs. Others have launched viable business lines here in Imo, reversing the migration trend to urban tech hubs like Lagos and Abuja, now deciding to settle in Imo State to do their businesses. Key industry partnerships have amplified these efforts. As we speak, UNDP of the United Nations collaboration has placed over 1,000 skill-up graduates in long-term employment. An MOU with the European Digital SME Alliance has enabled qualified Imolites to work with international technology firms. Our $15 million investment agreement with the U.S. Market Access Center, USMAC, marks the first subnational partnership of its kind in Nigeria, driving startups, incubation, investment, and global integration. Our graduates are powering a wave of local innovation. New ventures such as writeupsgig.com, siliconafrica.org, discourse.com, Adminton, SMFest, Starling AI, Base Tech Hub Limited, Kef1, Suzy Graphics, and others are creating jobs and also shaping a sustainable startup ecosystem in Imo State. Imo is building an economy. Multinational corporations, including Microsoft, Coca-Cola, and Nigerian Communication Commission have embraced the Imo Skill Up program model through public-private collaborations, bringing digital innovations to agriculture, healthcare, and education. We have massively expanded high-speed broadband access across Imo, partnering with Heartland Fiber Optics, Airtel, MTN, and IHS towers. Today, we have 5G coverage in several local government areas, a milestone in digital inclusion. I am very proud to announce to you that our flagship digital infrastructure project will soon be delivered. The Imo Digital City Limited, in collaboration with our foreign partners, is establishing the first ever Artificial Intelligence Institute built by a subnational government in Nigeria. This institute will focus on advancing research on artificial intelligence, promoting AI education, driving AI development across the country. It will also serve as a hub for nurturing AI-driven startups and groundbreaking research. Already, leading international technology institutions are set to partner with Imo Digital City Limited for collaborative AI research, innovation, and capacity building. In a 21st century economy defined by internet, artificial intelligence stands as the most transformative innovation instrument. The establishment of this institute within the Imo Digital City is therefore both a technological milestone and a socio-economic game changer, as it will attract global and local investments, open up thousands of digital job opportunities, and further equip Imo youths with the skills needed to thrive in an emerging AI-driven economy. With this bold initiative, Imo is not passively adapting to the future. We are helping to define it. Furthermore, we have introduced a robust e-governance framework to make public service smarter and more efficient. This includes full electronic data management system across all MDAs, digital identity cards for government officials to enhance accountability, a soon-to-launch My Imo app that will centralize access to government services like tax payments, permits, and program enrollment. A single window portal now integrates government to business, and citizen services, eliminating all bottlenecks. These efforts have drastically reduced bureaucracy, improved response time, and strengthened citizen trust in government. In partnership with the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, we rolled out free NIN enrollment drives, bringing thousands of Imo people, especially in rural areas, into the digital ecosystem. This has expanded access to online banking, e-commerce, and digital financial services, particularly for the previously excluded. Our pioneering efforts earned Imo a seat on the Presidential Council on Digital Economy and E-Government, one of the just 5 states selected nationwide. This recognition shows our commitment to policy domestication and execution. Through collaboration with the World Bank, we are currently digitizing land records using geospatial technology, resolving long-standing land ownership disputes, and improving transaction speed and transparency in land administration. That is why I have advised severally those who are busy thinking they are stealing land to just know that the land is not stolen yet. We are still in control of all the lands in Imo State. And very soon, after the certification, we will now know who are those that encroached into government lands and who are those that fraudulently change ownership and title documents of other people's land. The truth will prevail. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, what we have done is to lay the digital foundation for inclusive prosperity, not only in Imo, Not only is Imo connected to the future, we are actively shaping the future. The Light Up Imo project, if roads, open access, and digital skills unlock opportunity, then power remains the engine of productivity. There will be no meaningful industrialization without power. That is why we have made the power sector a top priority, setting clear goals and backing them with action. Our objective is simple, yet transformative, to ensure stable electricity across all parts of Imo State before the end of this year. To underscore our seriousness, we established the Ministry of Power, a dedicated structure to drive what we have christened the Light Up Imo project. We have since enacted the Imo State Electricity Reform Law, established the Imo State Electricity Regulatory Commission, and issued a power generation and distribution license to the newly created Orash Electricity Company Limited. In partnership with all the 27 local governments, we signed a memorandum of agreement with Orash Electricity Company Limited to deliver power across the state. That agreement is now being implemented. But we did not stop there. We have awarded contract for the upgrade and development of transmission and distribution infrastructure, beginning with phase 1 of the project. Through the Presidential Power Initiative, we also attracted some support and electricity infrastructure into Imo State. We have reactivated the Okigwe transmission station, and work is ongoing for the deployment of a 60 mega MVA transformer at that location. At the heart of this transformation is also a 50-kilometer 132 kV line. This transmission line will move from Ebu Station to Olo, and it is designed to energize a 2x60 MVA 132 to 33 kV line substation. The line route has been cleared. Tower foundations completed. Materials from China are expected in July. Once the towers arrive, we estimate 6-month timeline to commissioning. Upon completion, this line will significantly improve power supply to Olo, Oruklan, Nkwere area, Wangele, and the Idato North and South. We are also constructing a 15-kilometer by 33 kV line to New Owerri within a 15 MVA 33 by 11 injection substation to supply critical infrastructure within the Owerri state capital, including the government house, the secretariat, the Concord Hilton Hotel, the civil service secretariat, and the neighborhood. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, these equipments are scheduled to arrive this July. Commissioning is expected shortly thereafter. Another line is under construction from our low transmission station to the State Polytechnic in Omuma. This will ensure constant power supply to the Polytechnic, the surrounding town, and parts of Oru Nation. And we are thinking beyond distribution. We are building grid resilience. The state is actively facilitating the construction of a 330 kV transmission line from Aloji in Aba to Ebu in Owerri. And we are overseeing the completion of this critical substation works at Ebu. We are spending money to expand the Ebu substation in partnership with Niger Delta Power Holding Company. These moves will ensure long-term bulk power transfer capacity. If there is any fault in the generation system in Ebema, we will take bulk power from Aloji. Let me restate for emphasis, the Light Up Imo project is real and it is on course. Already we can see the promise it holds. A seamstress in Wangele, a barber in Okwele, a wedding shop in Mbise. Each of these businesses will benefit. Micro and small enterprises will flourish. cottage industries will spring up, investors will follow the power lines and settle where there is guaranteed supply of light. Because when a state has steady power, clear roads, skilled youth, and pro-business policies, it doesn't beg for investment. It becomes a destination of choice for investors. This is the Imo we are building, and we are building it with clear intentions and speed. In the physical space, Mr. Speaker, a state cannot develop sustainably without a sound physical base. This is why our administration has pursued reforms that not only increase revenue, but also attract investment and enhance transparency. We took deliberate steps to improve the ease of doing business in Imo State. Through the successful implementation of the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms (SEBA) program, we repositioned our business environment and earned national recognition. Our World Bank Ease of Doing Business ranking improved dramatically from 33rd position we met in 2021 to 13th position in 2023. This progress indicates not just infrastructure improvements, but systemic reforms. We reviewed and enacted business enabling laws, issued executive orders, and digitized procedures. Notably, we signed an executive order on the right of way, facilitating investments in fiber optic infrastructure. Another executive order establishing a framework for responsible and inclusive land-intensive agriculture, protecting both investors and host communities. We strengthened the public-private partnership law, allowing structured collaboration with the private sector. As a result, our development partners have shown increased confidence in the Imo economy. The World Bank recently released $4 million on our SEBA performance disbursement after we achieved 100% of our prior year reform targets. To support these improvements, we built a modern digital revenue system. The introduction of a revenue management system has transformed how we collect and monitor revenue across MDAs. Today, tax assessment notices, vehicle documentation, payment receipts, tax clearance certificates are all issued electronically, and their authenticity can be verified instantly online. This has drastically reduced leakages and manual bottlenecks. The impact is visible. Our monthly internally generated revenue has grown from the paltry 400 million naira we met in 2020 to now over 4 billion naira a month in 2025. An increase of about 500%. This performance gives us the fiscal breathing room to invest in infrastructure and services, even as federal allocation continue to look up. We are not stopping there. The Imo State Internal Revenue Service is now preparing for collaborative audits with the Federal Inland Revenue in alignment with the National Tax Reform. This integration will further boost compliance and expand our revenue base. Importantly, our digital reforms have also created jobs through electronic ticketing and digitized market revenue collection. We have created income opportunities for nearly 1,000 Imo citizens, turning public sector reform into grassroots economic value. This is how we govern, building systems, eliminating waste, growing revenue, and ensuring that the benefits touch the lives of our people. Finally, I am pleased to report that our administration has also reduced the state debt profile, which we met in the year 2020 at 259 billion naira in 2020. We have reduced the debt owned by Imo State when we come on board to a paltry sum of 99 billion naira now in 2025. This reduction of 60% is a clear signal of prudent financial management to restore dignity to our economic system We were looked at as a state that was not solvent, but now bankers and creditors are pursuing us to borrow. But I can assure you, we will not borrow for now. In today's Nigeria, where subnational governments are called to do more with less, Imo is showing that with vision, with discipline and reform, progress is possible. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, distinguished stakeholders, even as we strengthened our revenue base, we never lost sight of the immediate needs of our most vulnerable citizens. Those hardest hit by economic disruptions, particularly in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. That is why Imo State fully embraced the national COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program, christened locally here as Imo Cares. This initiative, jointly supported by the World Bank and the federal government of Nigeria, is designed to cushion the harsh socio-economic impact of the pandemic and encourage communities to level and recover. Under this program, we adopted a community-driven approach, identifying and supporting the poor and vulnerable households in rural communities, as well as the urban new poor, those pushed into hardship by recent economic shocks. The results have been remarkable. So far, over 400 households have received direct economic support. 98 communities have benefited from development interventions. 65,000 individuals, including the aged, the chronically ill, and persons with special needs, have been positively impacted. 8 wet markets were targeted for revitalization, helping small traders get back on their feet. These achievements speak to the program's depth and reach, but more importantly, they show that our administration is not building prosperity for the few. We are building resilience for all. Through Imo Cares, we are laying the groundwork for grassroots economic recovery, restoring confidence among low-income earners, and giving dignity back to those who felt forgotten. We believe that governance must be both strategic and compassionate. While we drive reforms at the macro level, we are equally committed to touching lives at the micro level. The households by households, INEC ward by INEC ward, market by market, we are committed, and we must give sense of recognition, identification, and dignity of what the good news of Imo State is bringing to us. A new Imo is possible. That is the ethos behind Imo Cares, and that is the spirit behind every intervention. We have rolled out under this administration all these interventions for the interest of our people and for the sake of Almighty God. Housing remains a critical component of our infrastructure, not just for shelter, but for institutional development and investment appeal. We are intensifying implementation efforts on the Imo State estates, which earlier we did not start because of discrepancies in the ownership of land. But today, we have marked an estate in Ngopala area, as well as the Hope Uzodimma exclusive estates, located in Avo, along Port Harcourt Road, the old zoo on the site by Protea Hotel, the phase 1 development of 500 affordable housing schemes in Avo, and our Mama is also on course. These projects speak to more than physical expansion. They showcase a leadership determined to create livable, dignified, and urban spaces. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, we have concluded arrangements to ensure that civil servants are involved in owning their own mortgage, through mortgage, in owning their own homes any moment from now. In the transport sector, Mr. Speaker, this administration has recorded substantial gains aimed at improving safety, mobility, and regulatory oversight. I am therefore pleased to inform you that through a public-private partnership, we are establishing a new transport chain known as the Imo Heartland Mass Transit Program. It is aimed to improving mobility, reducing travel costs, and creating jobs in the state. Contracts have already been awarded, and contractors have been mobilized to site. The project includes 3 mega bus terminals located at Ebu Road, Onitsha, and Naze Road, along with 256 bus stops strategically placed across the state. Our mass transit will take students, civil servants, pensioners at no cost to them. And the bus stops will extend up to Okigwe, up to Olum, up to Werenta, up to Mbise, Obu Junction, all the boundaries of Imo State. There will be bus stops. And that is why we are ensuring that we have quality access routes to these destinations. This shows our commitment to modernizing public transport infrastructure and restoring confidence in government-managed mass transit system. To enhance urban traffic flow, we have upgraded and expanded the use of modern traffic control lights across the state capital, reducing congestions and improving pedestrian safety. I am aware that the current construction of Assumpta flyover has caused some inconveniences to the users of that road, that I crave their indulgence and beg that they bear with us. In a few weeks' time, the bridge will be completed and the road and the traffic will soon resume. In a further push for security and order in the transport ecosystem, we have instituted a comprehensive biometric registration system for commercial vehicles. This includes the full registration and fleet management of buses and taxis operating under the Taxi Imo and Bus Imo in Imo State. We are also making progress in extending this biometric regulation to motorcycles and tricycles to ensure that all operators are accounted for and that the operators are also known in the system as passengers that are always being molested and humiliated will be able to have a way of getting back to those who are not patriotic. On our waterways, we have repaired the previously moribund pontoon, MV Orash at Oguta Lake, and today, Imo State operates 2 functional pontoons, MV Orash and MV Obana. This has enhanced local riverine transport and opened up new economic opportunities for our people. We have revived the Imo State Traffic Management Agency and strengthened the Vehicle Inspection Office for more effective enforcement of roadworthiness standards and traffic regulation. Step by step, sector by sector, we are restoring structure and modernity to the transportation system in Imo State. Agriculture. In the agricultural sector, this administration has made deliberate and sustained efforts to harness our comparative advantage and revitalize critical institutions. Within my first year in office, we resuscitated Adapam Nigeria Limited, which had remained moribund for over 15 years. That singular action reopened a vital industrial artery, creating jobs for our people, restoring livelihoods for palm oil producers, and stimulating the economy of the host community and beyond. The ripple effect across the palm value chain has been significant. We also revived the Acharubo farm settlement in Emekuku, creating further employment opportunities and boosting local food systems. To strengthen food security, we signed a memorandum of understanding with a Middle East company Jampo Group on the restoration of Wacharubo farms and some moribund industries in Imo State. Jampo Group is noted for diversified disciplines ranging from shipping, power, agriculture, manufacturing, agro-businesses, heavy-duty equipment, procurement, among others. The MOU empowers Jampo to make a Jarubo farm located in Emekuku, Owerri North local government area, functional and a going concern as far as livestock production is concerned, with development of its value chain. They will take over livestock production and expansion at Acharubo farm, with plans to develop poultry, piggery, and other livestock operations, while also installing a 400 metric ton fertilizer plant on site. We have also consistently supported our farmers by providing improved seedlings, fertilizers, and other essential inputs at subsidized. In line with our national endowments, we have intensified the distribution of improved Tenera palm fruit varieties, enhancing both yield and income for smallholder farmers. Our intention are not only feeding homes, they are building wealth in our rural communities and positioning Imo State as a serious player in the agricultural renewal. Our environment. On the environmental front, we have redoubled our commitment to restoring Owerri's reputation as the cleanest city in Nigeria. The adoption of balloon technology at the Chukwumamoha MCC axis has put an end to perennial flooding in that corridor. We have replicated this flood control method at the Hamakohe axis, ensuring safer streets and longer-lasting road surfaces. But infrastructure alone is not enough. I call on you once again, you residents, to join us in maintaining the aesthetic integrity and cleanliness of Owerri. A clean environment is not just a government responsibility. It is a collective civic responsibility and duty that citizens should cooperate with government to make the city clean. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I wish to also briefly touch on developments in the Ministry of Lands. As you are aware, the land administration system in Imo had been long riddled with irregularities and abuse. Previous administrations allocated lands in questionable ways, often at the expense of due process and public trust. To correct this, the report of a commission of inquiry on land use and allocation, came up with far-reaching recommendations, and we took bold steps by setting up an automated land administration system approved by the World Bank to be able to also implement some of the recommendations of that commission of inquiry. We have also ensured that many illegally acquired lands will be returned to their rightful owners in line with the Commission's recommendation. I therefore appeal to you and for your continued support as we work to sanitize our land administration system and restore confidence in this critical sector. People are quick at bringing out documents. The 99% of the documents they are bringing are either forged or fake. And they use this to encroach into both government lands and the public lands. Our responsibility as a responsive government is to ensure that the original owners of the lands gets back their land, and government also gets back her own land. As you are aware, one of our enduring legacies is the restoration of Statesman newspaper. From day one of my administration, we revived the moribund newspaper and made them a daily newspaper. It has remained so till date. I'm happy to inform you that Statesman now has a presence in Abuja, the capital of our country. It will be about the only state-owned newspaper that has presence in Abuja today. Our digital revolution will soon hit the Imo Broadcasting Corporation. We have concluded plans to completely and comprehensively digitize Imo Broadcasting Corporation and position it as a preferred destination for lovers of radio and television, both in the country and beyond. We are making arrangements to include IBC, Imo Television Service, in the DSTV network. Local government, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, in fulfillment of my earlier promise to the people of Imo State, we have successfully conducted local government elections in the state. As I had assured, the elections were held once the security situation improved, and to the glory of God, elections were peaceful, free, fair, and credible. Today, democratically elected chairmen and councillors are independently managing the affairs of the 27 local government areas across the state. That is how democracy should function, rooted not only at the center, but also at the grassroots. I urge you, as representatives of the people, to actively monitor their performance and hold them accountable. As we know, local government is the closest tier to the people, and its effectiveness reflects directly on the quality of governance we all aspire to uphold. I must place it on record that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown the kind of political courage we rarely see. Through his renewed hope agenda, his administration made two audacious game-changing moves. From the start, the removal of fuel subsidies and the unification of the foreign exchange market. These decisions were tough, but they were necessary, and they have made a huge impact. For states like Imo, the result is amazing as more funds reach the federating units. And without physical space, we've been able to move faster and further. Roads that appear impossible to build, like the dual carriageways connecting our major towns to neighboring states, have been constructed and completed. It is because of these economic preservation policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that have made it possible for states and local government to receive enhanced federation allocation into our purse. So for us in Imo, this alignment between federal reforms and state-level delivery is unlocking the kind of progress that speaks for itself. I have seen how excited Imo people are when they see the road leading from Owerri, Mbiso to Umaya, from Owerri to Okigwe, from Owerri to Olong, and all the infrastructure we are building. The jubilation and the enthusiasm has been unprecedented, but they were made possible because of the enhanced budget allocation we are getting, courtesy of the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The dredging of our Orash River, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the dredging of the Orash River stands out as one of the most strategic infrastructural projects of this administration, an undertaking that holds immense promise for the economic transformation of Imo State and Southeast region. The objective is to create an additional economic artery that will open up new corridors of trade, industrialization, and connectivity. It will also enhance security, supported by the already established naval base in Oguta. Beyond its economic value, this project is set to strengthen social and cultural ties among communities along the river, stimulating interaction and shared growth. The committee overseeing its execution has mapped out the timelines for the commencement of the first phase. The dredging route spans over 120 kilometers and is expected to be completed within the next 24 months. Let me assure this honorable House and the good people of Imo State that the Orash River dredging project will be completed within the lifetime of this administration. We are under no illusions as to its importance. This project holds the key to an industrial revolution in our state, and we shall spare no effort in ensuring its successful delivery. We are also thinking beyond infrastructure. Plans are underway for an Imo World Economic Summit, which will bring together international investors, development partners, and leading voices from the private sector. This summit will spotlight the new wave of investment opportunities in our state, particularly in agriculture, in manufacturing, oil and gas, ICT, and tourism infrastructure. Our objective is to position Imo as a destination of promise, a destination of possibilities and results. The economic and symbolic value of these achievements cannot be overstated. Imo is now on the map as a hub of infrastructure, as a hub of commerce and the connectivity. Mr. Speaker, members of the House of Assembly, distinguished stakeholders, security. As we continue to create an enabling environment for investment and development, we are fully conscious that security is foundational. No economy can thrive without safety. No progress can endure without peace. As the Chief Security Officer of the state, I have never taken this responsibility lightly. You are all aware of the troubling period when our state was targeted by politically motivated insecurity, marked by banditry, violence, lawlessness. But we did not fold our arms. We acted resolutely and collaboratively through sustained partnership with the federal government and security agencies. We have steadily reclaimed the peace of Imo. I'm pleased to report that even though it's still work in progress, the state capital, Owerri, has hosted several national and international conferences in the past year without any incidents. That is no coincidence. Rather, it is the fruit of deliberate effort and actions by our security agencies at a very heavy cost to restore peace in Imo State. Imo is returning to its rightful place as the hospitality capital of the Southeast. However, we are not lowering our guards. As our people say, Ndi Imo he who is surrounded by enemies must stay ever alert. I have therefore directed all stakeholders to support security agencies with timely, credible intelligence, and I recommend and commend those already doing so. In partnership with our communities, we are also establishing a vigilante unit in every ward, every community, drawing trusted members from within. This grassroots approach will strengthen our reach, deepen our community confidence. Let me at this point reassure our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, Imo is safe for your return. Those who visited last year during the festivities returned to their destinations in peace. We welcome you to come home again, joyfully and without fear. To the very few who may still be sponsoring violence, I urge you to stop. No personal ambition is worth the blood of your people. Join hands with us in building, not in destroying. The land we can all call our own is Imo State. If Imo is destroyed, we will not have any place to call our own. With the continued support of the federal government, security forces, and our vigilant citizens, I am confident that Imo State will never return to the proverbial Egypt. The dark days when terror held sway and human lives were devalued, those days are behind us, and they must never return again. Our judiciary. Now, if I may turn to another arm of government, the judiciary, I regret to observe that the situation is not just heartwarming. Recent events in our judiciary have exposed weaknesses and shaken public trust in Imo State. These are serious matters that demand systemic correction. That is why I am committed to working closely with all the relevant stakeholders to cleanse the system, restore its dignity, and reaffirm judicial integrity. Together, we will take these necessary steps, and the Imo will be better off for it. Furthermore, we will continue to uphold the rule of law and rebuild trust in every public institution. We will respect all regulations. We will recognize and respect all regulatory agencies. We will follow the rule of law, but we must also protect the interests of our people. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, distinguished stakeholders, from all I have outlined in this address, it is evident that the new Imo we envisioned is not a distant dream. It is our reality. Yes, the Imo I promised you in my inaugural address on January 15, 2020 has come to life. We have moved from an analog structure to a digitally driven state. Physical transactions are now automated. Digital skills are no longer aspirational. They are mainstream. Imo is fast becoming Nigeria's digital capital. We are witnessing an Imo with well-paved, durable roads, modernized infrastructure, revitalized public facilities, a reinvigorated civil service, operating in a modern workspace, and the promise of 24/7 electricity, with economic expansion on the horizon, powered by the Atlantic Access Project. Yes, our new Imo is here, to the glory of God. This is the Imo we have collectively labored to build, and I'm proud to affirm today, Imo is on the rise, safe, ready, and open for businesses. Mr. Speaker, members of the Honorable House, distinguished House, distinguished stakeholders, I am reliably informed that across Mbise and Obo, citizens are rejoicing daily over the completed Clan Road, the first of its kind in that axis. I hear motorists are already anticipating the convenience that the Sumter flyover will bring in easing interstate travel. I have also learned that the Emmanuel Iwenyo International Conference Center is now drawing curious visitors and admiration, not only for its purpose, but for the architectural wonder it represents. And even ahead of its full reopening, the transformation of Concord Hotel into Concord Hilton is generating excitement and pride among our people. What of the recently commissioned Ano gas processing plant? These are just a few of the legacies we are leaving behind. To me, they are not just projects. They are signposts of progress. They are redefining our physical and economic landscape and heralding a new Imo that is confident, that is connected, and that is competitive. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I must not close this address without expressing my profound appreciation to you and this honorable House for your steadfast partnership. Your support over the last 5 years has been instrumental to every milestone we have achieved. Your commitment to development and the people mirrors the core values of this administration. Permit me to also congratulate this House on your second anniversary. The Imo electorate chose wisely, and they deserve the very best. Please be rest assured that the executive branch will continue to support your work, collaborate with you where necessary, to deliver more dividends of democracy to our people. From the foregoing, it is clear that Imo is in a good state of health. We are making progress in virtually all frontiers by which the development is measured. We should be proud of where we are as a state, while mindful of the fact that there is still work to be done by all of us. As we build on the momentum we now have, and we know development should not be left to the government alone. We want to encourage public-private partnership We invite our private sector people and practitioners to see Imo as the destination they want to come. Let me close this address with a firm assurance to Imo people that our state is safe, our state is caring, and our state is in the competent hands of experienced, honest, accountable, ambitious leadership. I have never been more optimistic about the future. Imo State. Check my audio. Don't off. All right, look at that. How you put it on.
And you are still